Namaskara. Mr. Vachani, Mr. Naveen Jha, my esteemed friends and colleagues on the dais, and all those people who have assembled here. Right from the mime towards what Mr. Hanumantappa said was very, very encouraging for us. I'm very happy to be at the Deshpande Foundation and trying to learn the kind of radical changes that the Deshpande Foundation is doing in the lives of our young men and women. We always keep on talking about employment scenario in India. There was a recent article in Economist in which they said that although India has such a great demographic dividend, in a sense that the people in the young cohort of the young people is so large, still they do not have, sadly, the employable skills. Maybe tomorrow, learning from Deshpande Foundation, learning from the way we arrange our skilling part, there will be certain interaction with our educational system itself, so that in the colleges and the schools also we are able to tell our children soft skills, communication skills, conversation in other languages, broadening their horizon. And this is where the future of India would lie. Because unless we do that, no amount of training and skilling is going to help. I have hope in that future, and I'm sure this will happen. Having said that, there are so many programs Government of India is launching, so many programs Government of Karnataka is doing. My friend Shukla, he was telling me from next April onwards, all those skilling programs under different government departments will be brought under one umbrella. And that is one way we will be able to look at the whole scenario and take specific steps to integrate and converge those trainings. About the Rural Development Ministry, we run the DDU GKI, a skilling program which has been quite a success, I am told. We are also doing from Government of India, my friend Manish would be speaking about that, about the Skill Development Corporation. There are so many departments working so well, and there is a need to learn from each other. I am a firm believer that if the government cannot do many things, similarly, we require the help of the non-government sector like Deshpande Foundations and the NGOs. Similarly, there are so many advantages that the government has which can be tapped if we work together. And together, working together means that we are tackling the same pool of skill to be developed. We can align our methodology. We can also learn the best practices from Deshpande Foundations and other such enterprises, and try to work together so that the ultimate validation of a training is whether the people whom we have trained, whether Deshpande Foundation, whether DDU GKY, whether our skilling program, or whatever other program, their validation is whatever the skills they have is required by the market, is required by the companies and corporations, and they stay in the employment and they move up in the employment. Not at the entry level, but we inculcate them in such a habit so that they continue to keep on growing and move higher up in the value ladder. With that, I would also like to point out that the Government of India, especially in Ministry of Rural Development, we are working on a convergent model. We have named these as Antyodaya villages, in which we have 50,000 gram panchayats out of 250,000 gram panchayats, which we have already ranked and mapped. Now we know which are the gaps available on those villages, and we are trying to work in a convergent manner so that all their 27 departments who will congregate on these gram panchayats and try to fill up those gaps. And in one of those departments is the skilling department, which is extremely important, and that is where we'd like to work together and develop synergies. When I come here, maybe I'm not able to speak as confidently as my friend Hanumantappa was doing, ಹನುಮಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ? ಕೈ ಎತ್ತೋ ಹನುಮಂತಪ್ಪ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ, ಅವರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ಹತ್ತಿರ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ನ ನೋಡಿ, ಅವರ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಅವರ ಡೈನಾಮಿಸಮ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಅವರ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ನೋಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋದ ನಂತರ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರೇತರ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಪರವಾಗಿ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಊರ್ಜಾ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿ, ತಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ದೇವರು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಲಿ. ನಾವು ಈ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಲಿ. 50,000 ಅವರು ಗುರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹಾರೈಸುತ್ತಾ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಈ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬರಬೇಕು, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ನವೀನ್ ಅವರು ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಾನು ಖಂಡಿತ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಧಾರವಾಡ ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ 2017ನಿಂದ 2014ನವರೆಗೆ. ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಈ ಕಳೆದ 4-5 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅವರು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಒಂದು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯಾಷನೇಬಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ಯು ನೋ, ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್, ಸಂಬಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್. ವೈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್? ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಂತಂದರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು? ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗದಿದ್ದರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ಗಳು ಏನಿವೆ? ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಬಹುದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳಿವೆ. ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ Atul sir has explained to you the need for skilling. I'll just like to add 1 or 2 more points to that. Now, demographic dividend is a very, very important component. In Karnataka, I will tell you, the people in the age group of 16 to 35 comprises of almost 55% of the population of Karnataka, which means that we are in a phase where in the coming days, the kind of population in the working class that we will have will be very, very high. So skilling is very important. The second region, there is a huge gap between what the employers seek in the people and what exactly our current formal educational system teaches us. So there is a huge gap between what is required by the market and what skill sets, be it the domain knowledge, be it the functional skilling, be it the soft skills, or otherwise, that our students or our candidates possess. So there is a big need to bridge the gap between these two. There is a huge requirement to promote entrepreneurship and livelihood schemes also. So that is also a big challenge. And very important, we should have a framework of skilling which is internationally acceptable, even nationally acceptable. So these are the reasons why we should, you know, have a very good skilling policy framework and all that. Now, where this Deshpande Foundation comes into picture is something which I will tell you now when we talk about the challenges. One of the very important challenge in implementing the skilling programs is the availability of the physical infrastructure of the training providers. Now, what we have found in the last few years that we have been working is that the actual infrastructure for providing the trainings are not available to the extent that we would like it to be. So it's very nice to see the organizations coming up with a huge physical infrastructures, with the training infrastructures wherein the trainings can be provided. We have the challenges related to the quality of the trainers, and you know, it's very difficult to find a quality trainer nowadays, so we have to focus on the training of trainers also. And a very important thing in Karnataka that we would like to focus upon is an overseas employment. Because from Karnataka we have we have seen in the past that the trend has been that we do not want to go outside our own home district. However, when I visited this institute last time and interacted with a lot of you students, I got a very good feeling that all of you are now willing to migrate, all of you are willing to go out. Now, very briefly in 2 or 3 minutes, I'll tell you what the government of Karnataka is trying to do. These are all the synergies that come together, the schemes of the government of India, the schemes of the various departments of government of India, be it NRLM, NULM, or through Ministry of Skill Development, which are implemented through NSDCs. We have been trying to converge all these programs. So the government of Karnataka, last year, in fact, in 2016 September, it created a new department. That's the Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood, whereby all the training of every department will be converged, and it is being done under one umbrella, that is under this department. So from April 2018, after 2 months, every training program, doesn't matter what is the nature of the training program, what is the target group of the training program, it will all be done under one aegis of the skill development. So that's one very good development that has happened, and a separate department has been created for the same. In the same line, a new scheme of Chief Minister Kaushalya Vikas, Kaushalya Kalyan Yojana, CM KKY, has also been launched. The target has been 5 lakh per year to be trained. Now, if we look into Karnataka, we have around more than 1.5 crore people to be trained, if we take into account the stock as well as the current inflow that will keep on coming. 5 lakh is a very ambitious target, and we are trying to achieve how so much is possible from our side. Some of the additional things which I feel I must tell you, because you can take advantage of that, is that we have actually gone ahead to strengthen our employment exchanges. So maybe after few months, you will find that there are a lot of people there sitting in the employment exchanges, which will give you the career guidance, and the counseling will happen there. So that has already been implemented. Maybe after 3 months, you will find a much better equipped employment exchanges, which will have a very good facility for career counseling and placement that will happen. We have also gone ahead and established the apprenticeship cell, because the total potential has not been utilized. We would like to utilize that also, so that will be a good thing for you. And we were in the process of setting up of the International Migration Center of Karnataka, just for your information, because once we set up this International Migration Center of Karnataka, it will give a big boost to the people in Karnataka who want to go for overseas employment. We will be setting up our own RAs, that is the recruitment agencies, who will be helping you people out who want to go out for an overseas employment anywhere outside India. The counseling process has been underway, in which we try to match the, we try to find out what exactly you are ready to, whether you want the training or whether you are ready for the apprenticeship and all that. Now, these are just some of the various schemes which I would not like to keep on continuing and dwelling upon, but I would just like to say that just like you 600 people, what we plan to see in Karnataka is that there should be 6 lakh people like you who should get the skilling every year, who should be ready to take a big leap in the market, who should be more confident as you are. And I feel that the Deshpande Foundation, under the able leadership of Naveen and all his team, has been doing a fantastic job. I have been seeing it for last almost 6 years now. I wish them all the very best, and I hope that this kind of programs, this kind of training programs will keep on going. I am sure that we try to have some partnership with Naveen. I am sure in a few days' time we should be able to finalize that. And I hope to see some of you come and work with us and the government sector in the future. I wish all of you and the Deshpande Foundation all the very best. Thank you so much.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. It gives me a privilege to be here and a great honor to be a part of this great event today. because I am the alumni. I am from a first batch DFP. When Shaheen was speaking, I was just gone 9 years ago, 9 years back, that I was like Shaheen. I have done my bachelor's in social work, BSW from Dharwad. I learned in Kannada medium from first standard to till my graduation. Before joining Deshpande Foundation, I didn't know what is a computer. The advertisement said that the Deshpande Foundation is training on social entrepreneurship. The word social entrepreneurship made me crazy. And I decided that I'm going to join this program. I really didn't know that what they are going to teach me. But when I joined here, so every day was surprise. So one fine day, they gave me a new laptop, Toshiba. I was so happy because I had never seen a laptop in my life. So then I was happy that I got a laptop, but how to use this? So then all the training started at Deshpande Foundation. Dear friends, I would like to tell you that what I am doing present. I run Safe Hands 24/7 is a company providing female security guards and housekeeping people to the institutions. We started in 2009 with the 3 girls, and now we have employed 500 people. I would also like to tell you that when I started the Safe Hands, I didn't have my bank account. I mean to say that I didn't have any money. So now we have 4 crores of company. Annual turnover.
And how many bank accounts?
Skill development is not something like we read. Skill development is a continued learning. As I have employed 500 people in my company, so training is a part of the job. We have to train the people every day. So when we take the interview, so people come with their resume and they say that, what you have done? Na MA madenri, na BCom madenri, BBA madenri. What are your skills? Illa nange kashtapadtiti. So dear friends, what I am trying to say is, qualification, education is all important, but if you don't know how to speak, if you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to delegate, if you don't know how to express, then it's a no use. My dear friends, when I say that I was nothing in 2009, I'm something in 2018, it's just because of Deshpande Foundation. I would also like to tell you that I've been awarded 5 national awards. I'm a public speaker. The all credit goes to Deshpande Foundation, because the training what they give is not the training what we learn in our schools and colleges. It is not the training center, it is a reality show that where we learn, where we understand, where we experience it to go on to our life. My dear friends, when we learn, when we go to the colleges, we go to the schools, as a parent, I have 2 kids. As a parent, we should teach our kids that only book is not everything. We have the society to learn. We have the people to understand. We have the people to exchange our skills. We have people to exchange our opinions. So alumni is a great part of educational trust, because as alumni, we donate books. We donate our time. I am one of the sponsors for the event. So we were the beneficiaries, but now we are the contributors. So many times it happens that we always take, but we forget to give. So giving back to the people, giving back to the society, giving back to my foundation is my great achievement. I am very much gratitude and thankful for Deshpande Foundation and Naveen sir for giving me this great opportunity. Thank you.
Distinguished panelists on the dais, and my dear friends. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Deshpande Foundation for the fantastic work that they're doing as one of our non-funded training partner. And we really look forward to drawing lessons from your successes and trying to see how we can influence at the national level various models that you have developed. Particularly those that interest me are the ones that are targeted at rural India, because that's one area where we need to do a lot, in my view. I think when we talk of skills, a few things which I wanted to share in particular. One is the fact that we are a public-private partnership in National Skill Development Corporation, which essentially means that this is a body created by Government of India, but with the objective of harnessing the power of private sector to create skills that become employable for country's growth. Now, why this is so important, that's an issue on which I want to dwell for a moment, and then maybe also highlight few of my own experiences, how important skill can be. The first one, if you look at the word that often comes up frequently, and today also it came up, in the Indian context, is the issue of demographic dividend that all of us are aware of. And the fact that we have many young people at this point of our history. There are two interesting facts about this. The first is that apparently the last time we had a demographic dividend in India was almost 400 years back, probably around the time when Taj Mahal was being built. Why I'm emphasizing this fact is demographic window of opportunity goes together with wealth creation of a nation. So this is an opportunity for creating wealth for the nation. Now, how does that work? In economics, we know that labor and capital, that's what creates the GDP of a country. And the fact that your labor productivity goes up eventually leads to a higher level of wealth. So that's the simple equation. But I want to give you examples which are more important to keep in mind. If you look at South Korea, they entered into their demographic window of opportunity in 1950. It's only a 40 to 50 year period. By 2000, their window was closed, and they had grown by 38 times. The per capita income of South Korea had multiplied by 38 times. So here there are two lessons that I see here. One is the lack of cognitive ability of the insurgent whom we trained subsequently, the inability of them to problem solve, that they had a thing in their mind, but they can't convert it into action simply because they don't have problem solving ability. When you do skilling, you are solving three problems. You are solving the cognitive ability, which is the ability to solve problems that you have in life. Second is the non-cognitive problem, which is your soft skills, the ability to communicate, as you know, the mime we had in the starting clearly explained. And the third is the technical, which we all know about. So we mostly talk about the technical part of it in our lives. So I guess mixing all the three of it becomes critical if we have to succeed. And I want to emphasize again and again the fact that if you want to make skills successful, particularly in rural India, then we must have the native intelligence of people who operate at that level. And we must get them involved in that whole process and have them in the entire planning process. I know Deshpande Foundation actually digs deep into rural India and then plans with a lot of understanding of what they are really trying to do. And that is really helpful. I can see the result. I mean, I can see the confidence with which the children were speaking. The outcomes are quite clear. So I want to emphasize on that, and I wish that others also, drawing from lessons that you have had, take that up in a much more serious way. A few more things which I want to emphasize. One is about the fact that the future is going to be in the service sector, and therefore the need to have more attention towards the service sector. So while we do our skill gap analysis, we find that manufacturing probably will not increase as much in terms of the country's expectation as would the service sector, simply because you would have heard of this, that a lot of automation is happening, a lot of technologies are developing, which is replacing labor, and machine is coming in a bigger way. So therefore, I think we need to be prepared. We have to be realistic out there and not be taken by surprise. So planning for things, for example, let's talk about cyber security. It's going to become a big issue very soon, and therefore they will need experts globally. Where will they get experts? I think the best place to get experts today in IT is either Hyderabad or is Bangalore, and therefore there is huge amount of opportunity that India has. Same is with new technologies like blockchain, which is emerging. And I guess we need to keep an eye on these evolutions and capitalize on them. And finally, I think one issue that I want to also emphasize very strongly is that when we talk of skills, we almost connect that with jobs. We assume that we will skill a person and the person will get a job. But I think we need to turn our attention away from jobs and then look at entrepreneurship also. That not everybody who gets trained or skilled are going to get jobs. There will be need for entrepreneurship. Unfortunately, in India, entrepreneurship has not been very deep-rooted in our society, but there is a need for very deliberately creating the power for that. I will give you the example of Mr. Subrata Bagsi in Odisha, who is working on an entrepreneurship concept, which he developed jointly with us, that we call the Nirvana Fund. And where essentially what he says is, just as you have venture capital fund for people who might be slightly better off, of 1 crore or whatever, he's created venture capital fund for people who are in the rural India. So essentially he's taking fund from the top of the income pyramid and creating that fund for people at the bottom of the pyramid with amount which is as low as just 1 lakh rupee or 50,000. So in a typical rural context, when you skill someone to be a carpenter or to be a mechanic, his demand may not be of crores of rupee. He's probably expecting just 1 lakh rupee, but he doesn't want to get embroiled necessarily into the banking process because it has its own difficulties, just as people get into venture capital fund because there is somebody else willing to take the risk with you and gain from it. There would be other people who might be wanting to invest on rural impact investment funds, and therefore that's one of the new thing that he is trying, and something we need to keep an eye on, because it might have potential for scale up and totally targeted at people at the bottom of the pyramid. So we need more such thinking, more such planning, more such creativity when we develop financial instrument for the village poor. Because if we can't solve our problems at the village level, we'll never solve India's problem. So keeping an eye on that aspect is very, very critical, and we need to do more on that. I'm quite sure that the government of Karnataka would be very keen on taking forward many of the ideas that are emerging and that are innovative across India. We'll be very happy to share more about it with the government of Karnataka. I also would like to share more of our experience with Dept Foundation, so that any work that's happening across India, if they can capitalize on that and use their knowledge for dissemination across India so that other partners could benefit. Thank you so much for holding this fantastic event. I look forward to more interaction with you. Thank you so much.